What's up, gamers, and welcome to a new episode of Last Cloudia. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and of course, a Happy New Year. Because I'm more than likely this will be the last video I make for the year, so I'm just kind of covering all bases. We definitely have some arcs and a character to talk about, and of course, that's one of my favorite parts, is anytime we got some new content. Um, do want to make one quick note that there is one arc I'm not going to talk about yet, and that's the arc that comes from the Tower of Trials. So I want to let you know that I'm going to do my best to try to get to 80 so that I can get the arc, level it up, and actually show you what it does and what all comes with it, give you my recommendations. I feel like I have a chance to potentially get there, but I'm not going to make any guarantees. The best that I've done is probably gotten to level 60, I want to say, at the highest. But I'm feeling good about the squad because I have finished the first 35 floors with no issue, which is not something I get to say often. And this is kind of the squad I'm working with right now. I'm hoping that I can basically ride my first squad all the way, and then the second squad is more of just a backup. And I always ignore the third squad. That's just more arcs and characters that I'm leveling. Not sure why Theory is there, but it's all good. But that's what I'm rocking right now. So hopefully I can get there, and if I can, I'll make an extra video talking about the arc. But I'm not going to talk about the tower arc today. Well, hopefully sometime in the future, I'm actually going to really put more effort into it. Because normally I get to a point where I just stop, but I'm actually going to try this time, like really, really hard. I think I have a good enough amount of high level skilled characters to get there if I actually, put some effort into it. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about a arc that I finally got recently that I didn't have a chance to talk about is White Christmas. I did pull this yesterday on the 23rd, and basically it took, the new event stuff where you got some freebies, like 1,000 coins, and I did the auto run on the world map for a while to get enough to basically pull this. So right now it's at level 9, so not everything's going to be 100% accurate as far as max is concerned. I'll read it as is and I'll try to ad lib what the max might be. So the arc attribute for White Christmas, the LR arc, dark attack damage taken minus 18%. At max, I believe it's 20. A continuous regeneration effect. When an ally is incapacitated for the first time in a wave, restore 15 MP. I want to say at level 10 is 20 MP, hopefully. Max 3 incapacitations. Now, what this basically means is you have a dark attack damage taken minus is okay. It's for very specific things, probably specific bosses. The continuous regeneration effect is really the best part about this. Now, as far as the incapacitation for the first time in a wave, what that basically means is that the first time for each wave that another character dies, the character on this arc will get some MP. Even though it says max 3 incapacitations, that could be 3 separate waves within the same level, if you will. So that's what that's referring to. It's an okay attribute. Like I said, the auto regen is really the most the best thing about this. Let's take a look and see what you can actually learn though. So you have Fort, Metis, Star Heal, which are okay, nothing to really brag about. Magic Defense up 4 is good if you're running like a healer. So, that's probably one thing you might want. Cure All, eh. Ether Heal is actually decent. It's basically a one target heal that not only gives you HP, but it also kills some status effects or a bunch of them. So it's good, but I don't know that people will go out of their way for it. But the Magic Defense of 4 is probably the go to, mainly because healers are important. And even with your DPS characters, if you're doing Proud Force, Magic Defense of 4 will also help you to heal when you proc the Proud Force. So that's the main reason I have it, as far as, skills are concerned. Now, as far as the Aether reward, it comes with the Yuletide Star Hammer. This is a hammer. It's light attribute. Strength 177, mind 116. Regular attacks have a chance to recover 3 HP. This is basically a weapon for a tank. What you're going to do with this is, one, you're going to deal a ton of damage, which is good, especially if you're trying to do the light thing. But the fact that it has a lot of mind basically means you're probably going to be triggering Proud Force, and the actual trait of the item itself will also give you HP. So This is actually a really, really good weapon for a tank. Depending on which one you're going to use, it's actually not bad. This is probably the best thing about this arc altogether. The item. Now, as far as skills, you want Mind Up 4, and that's pretty much all you need. So, overall, this is. The arc itself is eh. It's like I said, you only want it for magic defense up, in the item, but other than that, I wouldn't take it in the tower really, to actually try using it. It's more if you just want to level it, and that's about it. But yeah, like I said, it's not like a top tier arc. It's just something where you can learn some unique stuff, which I think is pretty cool. So it's an okay arc. Now let's go ahead and talk about a little more of the meat and potatoes, if you will. And I'm in the wrong section. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the new gacha pools. Now, one thing that I will mention, but I'm not going to talk about, is they do actually have the Yuletide uh, banner, basically, where you can get, of course, my waifu over here, and you can also get the arc. But I'm not going to talk about it because I've already talked about them in previous videos, so there's no reason to really go back. But basically, you can get Saintly Theria and Wishes on a Holy Night. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Saintly Theria. I think she's good to have. So if you really want to pull her, go ahead. As far as the arc itself, there's something, there's not much to brag about. I guess I'll make one comment about the arc. The only thing, in my opinion, that's worth getting is basically the very first thing you can learn, which is Holy Night Radiance. Light attack damage plus 10% during nighttime. You can combo this with the other limited arc that came out. I want to say it was actually on the very first collab we had. Yeah, it was. So where Randy and everybody was, there's a rare arc you could get that gives you the basically you can any light spell that you cast during basically the morning to the evening will give you a percentage. So if you were to combo that with this one, you just get a bonus to light uh, attack damage all day long. That's about the best thing I'm going to tell you. Also, it came with quick trigger, which I forgot about. So those are the main two things that you can get out of it. Other than that, really nothing to brag about. But I thought that people might be interested if you're trying to build like a light damage character. But that's the only reason you want that. But let's go ahead and talk about the main reason you're here. Let's talk about the new character, the new arc. Is it worth pulling on? Am I going to be able to actually get any of this stuff with the multi pull I'm going to do? So, let's talk about Spirit Maiden Theria. That's right, Theria once again. Now, this is going to be the very first unit that's going to have three forms because we have regular Theria, you have Saintly Theria, and now you have Spirit Maiden Theria. What that basically means is it sets precedence for other characters that already have a shift that are not good enough could get another shift in the future that might make them relevant. The example I'm going to use is Melza because she's the one that I wish was a lot better. So there's hope for her to actually have another form that could be really game breaking. So I hope that they take advantage of that with other characters that have already been shifted but are not really relevant. Make them relevant again. All right, so let's take a look at our homegirl here. So as far as stats are concerned, overall they're really good. You got a little over 1,000 intelligence, 1,200 mind, 4490 on the HP, so that's good. She has silence nil and stun nil, which is a really good combination of things to have. She's not really weak to anything either, which is even better. As far as elemental resist or attribute resistance, basically she has light and dark resistance, which is a decent thing too. As far as abilities are concerned, basically she does light damage for the most part, pushing them away for her skill 1. Skill 2, basically all allies take 25% less damage, uh, heal a single basic status element, and gain 1 resistance to it. That's actually really, really good for a second skill. So you want to see that kind of stuff. Obviously, this is going to be a main healing character, as you can already tell. Their third skill restores moderate HP to all allies. There you go. And her special, basically, you get HP cap 3k, which is fantastic. All your characters are revived and greatly recover. and take physical damage minus 50%. So this is a heal all, resurrection all, HP shield for everyone. It's really, really good. Really, really good. If I'm reading that right, yeah, you get HP cap 3k, revive, rarely recover, and take less damage. That's the whole. It's the total package. This is the kind of ability you think a tank would have to kind of like keep your teammates alive while staying alive yourself. It's really interesting. Take a look at the traits here. So, Oracle's Guidance. All allies periodically get Fate Nil. I love that. Take 20% less damage from numerous enemy types, random chosen when equal. So basically what this means is, let's say you have a map of 5 characters. 3 is one type, 2 is another. The one with the most, which is going to be the 3, you're going to take less damage from. And then, of course, if you have 6 enemies, 3 and each of them all have 3 of a certain type, it's going to randomly pick one that you're going to be shrugging damage from. And this is for all of your allies. Pretty cool. Spirit Maiden's Favor. Again, that's also a tankish ability, which I find it weird to give it to a healer. But it's cool, though. I'm not complaining. Spirit Maiden's Favor. Cost of 10 MP healing magic minus 20%. HP healing cap 3k. When healing HP with magic, skill, or specials, give barrier duration 1000 to heal units. So basically, what happens is when they get healed, you get a 1000 barrier, which basically just means that if they were to do you like 1500 damage, you only take 500. It's just basically an HP shield, if you will. That happens with no matter what she does, magic, skill, or special. You get that. I like that a lot. She's really, really fantastic. Like as a healer is concerned, just off of the traits and abilities, you can tell like she's gonna be the best healer in the game as of now. Sorry, Lena. And let's take a look at the actual skills that she learns. So as far as spells are concerned, God Heal, kind of standard for the best healer. Starlight Heal, Cure All, Erase. I forgot what Erase does. Oh, it removes one strength, intelligence, defense, or mind debuff on an ally, excluding certain special debuffs. But so any of those basic debuffs or stats, yeah, it's all gone. High Resurrection, which I also think is new. Cure incapacitation for an ally, restores 50% hit points. Pretty good. And Auto Res, so revive an ally upon incapacitation, restores 30% hit points once per wave. So basically, if you're going to cast this, I don't know if you're really going to do this too often, or if you're going to focus on a specific character you're going to use, like your front line. And basically, whenever they die, they'll just auto revive. That's basically what it is. So it's auto. You're basically casting auto life on someone. So that's pretty cool. I actually like that pretty a lot. Grand Protection, which is basically physical reduction for all your allies. That's been around. Magic Castle 2, which the first one did 20% shrugs. This is magic damage that shrugs 35%, so pretty good. She also has all the elemental walls: flame, ice, stone, thunder, holy, and shadow walls, number 2. So these will all shrug 35% instead of the standard 20%. And then she also has the unique no attribute wall, which is basically shrugging 20% of non attribute damage to all of your allies. Love it. Really, really good. Um, Obviously, these are buffs on the defensive side, so these kind of buffs are not going to really increase your damage. It's kind of be the difference between her and Diva, Tinkili the Diva, is that a lot of Diva's buffs are offensive, whereas Theria's are going to be defensive. But that's fine. This is really good. Either way, you want your characters to survive. So, as far as skills, she has magic defense up max, royal armor, which is good because basically you want to not get hit with criticals. And the reason that's important, I think I've mentioned this before, is not getting hit by criticals means they're not going to trigger their Proud Force or any other abilities that they come along with it. Auto advanced circles. Now, this is awesome. So, continuous advanced magic circles effect, which basically just means that she's going to have an auto heal in MP instead of HP. So, she gets auto heal in magic points. Speaking of auto heal, you have auto heal, which is basically no, this is different. It's upon coming close to death, automatically use 30 MP to greatly recover your own HP. So she definitely has some staying power. Healing boost, why not? And then healing high boost. So 10% and 30% respectively. You want that in your, full healer. Archangel's Blessing, which is basically, the total package for your average spellcaster. Basically MP plus 30 at the end of battle. High level magic chat, which comes standard with most of your mages nowadays. Rapid recovery, which basically, whenever you take a debuff, it won't last as long, so that's pretty cool. Miracle Ceremony, this is new. Cost of 10 more MP. Magic buffs on allies minus 20%. Wait, your buffs are minus 20%? Oh, I guess it's just like lowering the cost by 20%, even though the cost. Okay, I might be reading this wrong, so sorry if I sound like an idiot right now. I don't know if that's just not written correctly or if I'm just not getting it right, but I want to say this is either a 20% like decrease in the cost of the spell or the duration of the buff. It's kind of weird. I don't get it. Hymn of Resolve. When reviving allies with magic specials, target unit defense and mind plus 25%. So not only are you going to be getting the amount of buff you're going to get from all the other skills, traits, whatever, you're also getting an additional 25% to your defense and mind of the character you're healing. Yeah. So this is definitely the character to use for healing. 100% the best healer in the game. Now, where would you use her? I would say that she's probably going to be prime target for tower. Like, really, really fantastic for tower. You may, if you want to be a little creative, you can give her an offensive, spell if you want. You don't necessarily have to, but if you want her to have a little bit of offense, you can. Just keep in mind you're not going to have any buffs to back it up, so it might not be worth it because then you have to do elemental boosts and stuff like that, and it might not be necessary. So you may just want to keep her as is. It's up to you. The good thing about this game is you can pretty much create a character however you want, so it's really ultimately up to you. But overall, yes, this is the best healer in the game as of today. And actually, I wouldn't mind getting her. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my Stately Theria. Like, she's been really, really good to me for a very long time, and I still use her off and on for various content. But it wouldn't break my heart to have her and start using her instead, because I wouldn't mind having a healer like her, and that's kind of what I've been wanting. I mean, no offense to Lena. Lena's good, but there's a lot of that she's lacking, and I don't really want to go into her. She's good if you manually control her. I'll put it to you that way, because there are some things she does that I'm like, no, just stop doing that. But anyway, we won't get into that today. But yeah, definitely a really, really good theory to have if you're into her. Starry Calamity. I'm sorry, Radia's Starry Calamity. So what's going to happen here is I'm thinking Radia is the maid that's on the picture, is my assumption, or that could be a name of a location, one of the two. But let's take a look at this arc and see how cool it is. Magic attack damage rises according to remaining enemies' hit points, up to 20%. Magic attack damage up for each debuff on a unit, 6% per debuff. Magic plus 30%. Constant aura effect. So, this is the kind of arc, and this is just talking about the attribute. This is something that you're going to want for like Tinkili or for Sinku, for example, who, like to put debuffs. Heck, even the new Lily, because she debuffs now as well. And for each different debuff that's on there, it basically ups the damage. And your magic damage will rise according to their enemy's remaining hit points. So there's a lot of potential damage depending on the characters you're using. And let's say you're not really into using like Lily or Nocturne, Tinkili, or Synchro, you just don't have them. What you can do is you can run Logia if you have him. Unfortunately, I don't. But if you have Logia, he will be causing debuffs, and then whatever mage has this arc equipped will be able to just deal a lot more damage. So it's really, really good, actually. This is the kind of arc that you definitely want to use in boss fights. You could use it in tower. It's just really, really solid. So I like it. So far, I didn't even look at the anything else, and I actually like it a lot. All right, so what can we learn today? We can learn Meteor Rain, robe boost, which I'm all about, like the equipment boost, robe boost, clothing boost, staff boost. Like I'm into all of that. Anything that will boost the stats that are necessary for your character are just awesome to have. Magic up 4, fantastic. You want this for all of your mages. And I don't think this is readily available in most of the arcs that we have, unless it's like a UR or something. But you definitely want the Magic up 4. You get Crimson Flare, you get Flame High Boost, which I think exists already, and Spell Linkers. This is the big one that you want. Magic attack damage plus 4% for each repeat of an attack magic, maximum of 20%. So obviously, no matter what mode you're in, you're constantly repeating the same magic a lot, and so you're going to be getting a boost in damage each time you use that same particular spell. This is really good for just about every offensive mage. All of them, the offensive ones. So, yeah, you want that. And for 5SC, that's actually kind of cheap for how potentially broken this is. And like I said, for boss fights in Tower, I think this is going to be fantastic to have on a character. So, definitely worth getting. I'm really digging this arc. I'm not going to lie, it's really good. Like, all around. This might be one of the best arcs of the game. So let's take a look at the Arc Aether reward. This is going to be the Skyfire Meteor Staff. Alright, 6 stars, Fire Attribute. Intelligence 191, MP 42, Mind 179. Fire attack, magic damage plus 30%. I like this. There's a certain woman that I've recently acquired named Eliza who would love to have this particular weapon, who I'm slowly building up. I haven't quite gotten her where she needs to be yet because I've been distracted with all the other good characters. But, and I literally just pulled her recently, so I haven't had a chance to really use her. But yeah, she will 100% get this if I get this arc. And it's 100%. Like I said, the stats are really good. Even the mind's good. So if you're like doing any kind of healing, that's going to help a lot. Probably not going to use Eliza for healing, but there's probably other mages you may want to, give this to. Who knows? Yeah, it's just all around really good. I like it a lot. So, what do we think of this arc altogether? Again, this is going to be one of the best arcs, period. Really good. Top tier, like super duper good. I think I actually want the arc more than I want the character. I'll put it to you that way. And again, that's not taking nothing away from the character, because the character is really good too. But that arc, though, I mean, it's versatile for lots of different mages, not only in the arc attribute, but even the skills you can learn. And of course, the equipment is good for specific units, so yeah, 100% worth getting. So the question is, do I want to do a step up or do I just want to do a regular multi-pull? I do have a lot of gems, so I think I might just do a regular multi-pull and just see what happens. Not a paid one, obviously, but So let's do it. Let's see what we can get here. Yeah, like I said, this is a good combination. This is a really good banner, like a fantastic banner. Of course, it's just Center Hero, so it has to be good, right? You would think so, right? Alright, so our boy is by himself, so odds are looking good, but it starts off yellow, so let's see what happens. Let's see what we can get here. Turn red for me. You know you want to. There you go. Let's make it happen, Captain. Let's get something good. Ah, boo. Boo. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go too hard on this right now, I don't think. I'm debating if I want to actually do the step up thing. I'll think about it while I'm talking about the weapons you can get for, or the items, I should say, that you can get for the new Theria. So let's go ahead and discuss that. And while that's happening, I'll decide if I want to actually do any more potential pulls. The reason I don't want to go too hard on this banner, as much as I really like what's there, I'm kind of saving up for some of the New Year stuff that's coming up that might be a little bit better. We'll see. Alright, so let's take a look at the Maiden Staff Dirian. God, I'm probably saying that wrong. No, I'm not trying to buy it, I'm trying to look at it. Alright, so Spirit Maiden Theria only. This is a 5-star staff of light attributes. Surprise. Intelligence 151, MP 50, Mind 113. Battle start strength minus 10%. Add to Mind. Recover 10 seconds of all skills SCT. Alright, so this is building up your SCT. It's increasing your mind because you're a healer and that's what you want. So this is the kind of weapon that specifically does what you would want her to do. So yeah, if you're really into this character and you have it, I don't see why not. Go ahead and buy this particular item. I think it's good. And then let's take a look at the Maiden Robe Lacem. Alright, so Spirit Maiden Theria only. This is a 5-star cloth. MP 30, defense 121, mind 71, casting not interrupted by most attacks, continuous regeneration effect. Doesn't she already have auto regen though? So it just seems a little redundant, if I'm not mistaken. But the casting not interrupted by most attacks, that's the cool part here. But the continuous regeneration effect shouldn't need to be there if she already has. Oh no, she doesn't have auto regen. Never mind. She has that thing where if you're at 30% or less, then you can heal yourself. So it's not really auto regen. So never mind. This is fine. Not redundant. You're good. You don't have to make that adjustment you did on that other character a while back that we caught. So no, this is good. You don't have to change anything. This also has nil on the curse, so you won't get cursed either. This is okay. Again, it's the auto regen and the not being interrupted that's important for her. You want to make sure she gets those heals off. So yeah, it's a good item for her too. If I'm gonna tell you which of the two let's say you only want to get one of these, you're like dolphin, you're not a whale, but you want to get one. Whew, which one do you get? Well, the thing I like about the actual staff is that you get a higher mind, which means that the healing will be more effective. And having more intelligence too will help you too, especially if you're going to give her like a life spell or something like that, like maybe Galaxy or something. Just a thought. This would be better because it gives you more options, specifically with the healing and potential to do some kind of offensive magic. So this is going to be the best item that you're going to want. Speaking of which, I did talk about equipment for another character that we talked about recently. I forgot who it was now. Um, it was an item that it was like, oh yeah, it was for Alice, I believe it was. I meant to say that the weapon, or it was not the weapon, but the cloth was probably not worth being in the paid banner. I wish I'd have said that. I think that if you were going to buy one or the other, you should have bought the sword. But I guess it's a little late now. But as far as here is concerned with this particular character, if you have to pick one or the other, I would go with the staff. And then, of course, if you're welling it up, why not get both, right? So that's how I feel there. But yeah, overall, this is a fantastic banner. There's not much to really say about it. It's just too good. And like I said, the tower arc, I'm not going to talk about today. Like I said, I'm going to actually try to earn it so I can actually level it and see what you can get from it and everything. And I want to be able to show it to you while recording rather than having to read some notes that don't have everything. So that's why I'm going to try to get that arc. If I can get the tower arc, I'll do another video. It'll be just a random video talking about that, and maybe I'll do some shout outs just to, throw a little extra time in there and give some people some attention that's much needed. And we'll go from there. So, again, like Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm glad that you guys took the time to watch this video. And I'm not going to go ahead and use my paid stuff to get Step Up here. As much as I like what I see, I don't think I want to do it. I don't want to do. I want to save my paid stuff for some different things later on. But until next time, keep gaming, take care, and see you next year.